Street Food. Expedition Huangshan.
Thank you for joining Expedition Huangshan, Day 4, and we woke up with spirits soaring and bodies broken. Hiking nearly 14 miles without a lot of prep will do that to you. I'm saying we were deep down sore, okay? Nate practically couldn't even walk, and he's a youth. We limped around our dorm room in the dark, packing up our stuff, and we set out with our flashlights.
It's about 4:30. It's still pretty much pitch black, and we are looking for a place to set up for the sunrise.
Nate wanted to do a time lapse, so we wanted to get there early to get a good spot. Now, obviously, this is our first morning on the mountain, and we had no idea which peak would give us the best vantage point. I had searched online beforehand, and I had a number of suggestions. A lot of people suggest you go to Bright Top, others say Lion Peak or Stone Monkey. Bright Top was too far away, and amidst our searching in the dark, we found that Lion's Peak was closed, so we went to Stone Monkey. So we're searching around in the dark, not really sure where we're going, but then some other Chinese climbers saw us and said, hey, I bet those foreigners know where they're going, and they started following us. We were the first ones to get to Stone Monkey, and we set up completely in the dark. Nate used his iPhone as a compass to figure out which way the sun was coming up, and he put his camera on a tripod and just pointed it that direction. Now here's the thing about a Huangshan sunrise. Because of the unpredictable weather, you never know what you're gonna get. You might get a great view, or you might get nothing but fog, and you just don't know.
It's 6:40. It's an hour after sunrise, and the place is blanketed in fog. I mean, you can't see jack. It's like you're in a cloud now.
Later that day, we ran into some hikers who had been on Bright Top looking for the sunrise at the same time as us, and they saw nothing. The view from Stone Monkey, on the other hand, proved to be amazing. Honestly never seen anything like it. The peaks appearing from the night, reaching up toward the sun, and afterwards the clouds just roll in, cover it all. It was seriously like once in a lifetime. We had some coffee.
It's the best way to start the morning. Instant coffee in a kid's cup. It's too hot, but it's gonna be good.
And then we hiked around some more. After that we had a mountain snack. Zhong You Bing.
Conghua Bing we've seen before, but this is You Bing combined with Conghua Bing, so it's called Cong You Bing.
I can't really say if it was good or not. My body was so exhausted that Bing tasted like the best thing I ever ate in my life. The fog was pretty heavy in the late morning and we didn't see much, but that sunrise was unbeatable anyway. We did run into some more trouble with stairs.
This is the 100 steps.
I'm gonna die. Dude, I hate this. This sucks. Good thing the rock is not slippery, otherwise this would be dangerous.
There's water dripping down the steps.
You see this?
That is straight up 127 hours rock right there.
Oh. Honey, I'm still alive. You don't get that 100 grand yet.
We took the cable car down. I mean, we had nothing to prove at this point. Back down in Tangkou, we had some Maofeng Mian.
Maofeng is a type of green tea. It's called Huangshan Maofeng. So it's Yellow Mountain Fir Peak is how you would translate it in English. It's called fir because the tea leaves have little white hairs on them, and peak because the tea leaf is long and pointy and looks like a peak. So apparently the broth for these noodles is made with tea.
Now you've heard me go on and on about my trip, so today I wanted to invite my traveling buddy, Nate, onto the show. Nate, welcome to Street Food.
Thank you.
So you've traveled a fair amount in the world, but how would you say traveling in China is different? What are some of the pros and cons maybe of traveling in China?
I think the most difficult thing about traveling in China would be the lack of English. The places that I've traveled to, you really need to know a little bit of Chinese in order to get around. Trains go everywhere, and if you can figure out the train system, then you can go literally anywhere in China. Fairly cheap compared to a lot of the places I've traveled.
We've also done a fair amount of hiking, I'd say. So how does Huangshan compare in the spectrum of the hikes that you've been on?
I think the biggest difference in Chinese trails is their stairs. They're not, it's not like a trail, like you're not stepping on earth most of the time, you're stepping on concrete, which I think it's harder on your body. Yeah, there's thousands of people on the mountain in the time we were there, so it was one of the most beautiful areas I've ever been to in my life. It's just the ruggedness of the mountains, the fact that it like comes out of the earth so fast. It's not a gradual mountain range, it just kind of jets out of the earth. There's a weird, the trees, I mean, it's in the Chinese art. If you know what Chinese art looks like, a lot of the trees that you see in those pictures are what is seen exactly like that on the mountain. And so there's just a really strange beauty about it that I don't think you can find anywhere else in the world.
I totally agree. I didn't understand Chinese paintings of mountains till I went to a Chinese mountain and I was like, oh, that's what this is. It's really cool. Okay, so thinking back on the trip now, it's been several months ago. What are some of the things that stand out to you as being really memorable?
That was the first time I took a sleeper train in China, and that was quite an experience. I think if you are going to be in China, you should definitely take a sleeper train at least one time, and then if you like it, you can continue to take sleeper trains. If you hate it, you can just fly.
Where do you rate on that scale between like and hate?
I think it depends on your cabin mates.
Yeah.
Going to Huangshan was actually pretty good overall, but then I went to Lanzhou and it was not good.
Based on this experience, would you go again? If so, what would you do differently, now knowing what you know?
Yeah, I would like to go back to Huangshan. I would like to go back and take more time. If I could go back and do it again, I would stay longer.
What was your favorite snack from the trip?
Episode 15
Okay.
of season 6. It was the Muslim noodles. Hands down, some of the best noodles I've had in China.
All right, well, anything else you want to add?
I would just say come to China. I think it's potentially going to be an amazing time and well worth it. I think some of the most beautiful landscapes in the world are here in China, and you cannot get some of the things that you can get here anywhere else.
Nate does photography, he does some time-lapse photography, he's done some drone photography from planes, which is pretty sweet. Where can we find your work online?
Right now, I am kind of in the process of getting my website more complete and finished, but it's my name, NathanielChenoweth.com. And
We'll put it at the bottom.
Yeah, because it's very long. And then you can find me at ramblingphotos.com, and that's my street photography.
Nate's who I go to for camera advice. It's also who I borrowed a camera from, and if he doesn't have one, he borrows one from his friends, which then I use. So I'm always working on borrowed equipment. But Nate is usually a part of that equation, so he's been instrumental in this season. And yeah, I enjoyed having you on the trip and enjoyed having you on the show. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for inviting me.
Show my buddy Nate some love in the comments and check out his stuff on the web. I'll link it in the description and at the end of this video. Our trip is not over. After the mountain, we had an extra day, which we chose to spend in a Chinese village. But the thing is, our money was running low. How did we survive? Find out next week. Until then, y'all keep eating it on the street and watching out for the parasites.
Street food.
I feel blessed, dude. It looks so awesome. We come here and it's just like this white blanket. You can't see anything. And you wait a second and all of a sudden these peaks start appearing out of nowhere. It's intense and it's awesome. Plus you're like walking these steps and freaking working for it, you know? And then you get to a spot and just the clouds clear for a second and you feel like you're lucky that you got to see it, you know? It's awesome.